Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Clientology Daily Insights. As always, I am your host, Jeff Bourgeois. And today I wanted to share something about how you can actually create a presentation. Maybe you've been called on to speak at a local chamber of commerce. Maybe you're doing something for a project, or you're working with strategic partners. Maybe you've been asked to do a webinar. And so today I'm going to show you how to take that diagnostic that we've created in the past and turn it into your power presentation. So before I do, join our Clientology community. We're going to have more insights and feedback into this exact specific conversation. It's a group of like-minded professionals who truly care about building value, building authentic relationships, building authentic communities, and ultimately serving our dream clients. So you can either click on the link in the notes below, or you can scan the QR code. It is a forever free community. It's just like-minded people sharing ideas. So if you're looking for ideas, it's a great place to be. Sorry, my slides are not ready. Okay. Awesome. So this segment, it's going to be a quick one. Actually, you might think it's going to be long, but I'm going to just run through very quickly how to take the diagnostic we've created and turn it into a presentation. So as a reminder, this is what our clientology diagnostic looks like. If somebody is looking at the science of client getting, this is how we help them. So just as a reminder, in the middle, we have our promised result and our target audience. So what we do and who we do it for. And then on the sides of the triangle, we have our three big core areas. We've taken 80-20 principle, and we've picked the best of the best of the best of our signature system, and we've put it on the diagnostic. So in clientology, we have three core areas: ready, aim, fire. And then we've got three projects for each core area. So I'm going to show you how to take this. It takes longer to do the diagnostic than the slides, I promise. Now I'm going to show you the done version, not the perfect version. So what I would encourage you to do is develop a signature talk, and you're going to have a second talk as well. So the first talk, your signature talk, is how somebody knows if they need your help. And really, truly, you're giving them the clarity of when would they come see you. And in that process, you're going to give them some tips and tricks and traps they should be avoiding. So you're adding value in your presentation. That is the goal, not to sell, but to add value. Now, the second presentation might be a little bit more in depth, but the first presentation is, does somebody want to work with you? Once they decide they want to work with you, how do they work with you? So the second presentation might be something like, the checklists that they need to complete for the first project, checklists for the second project, showing them how to get ready to work with you. So if you're a busy professional, one of the ways you could leverage it is to have group intakes where you do sort of a presentation. You teach the audience what they need. By the way, this is also a course you can create. You can record it, share it online, but you answer their questions here rather than one-on-one. So it's a good way to scale. And then obviously you can bring them into the privacy of your office and have a detailed conversation once they've done the homework. And I'm just going to give you an example. Most education, the teacher is in front of the classroom, they teach the children, and then the kids go away, do the homework. And when the kid's doing the homework, that's when they're going to get stuck. The Khan Academy, which is a very revolutionary online school, they actually do it differently. They use the videos to teach the things so the child can watch the videos on their own, and then they use the in-class time to answer questions. So it's just changing the order of how you do things that makes it more effective, more efficient. So that's a tangent. Let's jump in. So there are a few points to turning your diagnostic into a presentation. And you want to, first of all, your promised result is the title of your new slide presentation. And you want to put it in a how-to format. I'll show you that in a second. and you want to include your target audience in that promise. So that makes it clear. People walking by can say, oh, I want to see that. And now we're going to add the about slide. And in that, we're going to share who you are and why they should listen. Throughout, we want to add examples. Who else has been on this journey with you? Never name names, but use examples. A client came to me, they had this problem. We did this, this, and this, and here's the outcome. So show what life looks like before, during, and after working with you. And then you have an intention slide. You want to set the intention for the presentation. And each of your 3 core areas become high-level strategic sections of the talk, and they provide insight and clarity for the audience. Again, you're helping them diagnose, do they need to book a call with you? And by the way, a lot of experts, they'll do, they get invited to talk at a chamber of commerce or something. They'll go into detail about, I do this kind of research, I do this. They show their features, and really truly at this point, people want to know, do I need your help or not? Literally, they're sitting there waiting for you to answer that question. If you jump right into how you help them, you haven't gotten them to the point where they're ready to buy or to reach out and say, hey, I need to work with you. So the goal is to provide some insight and clarity for the audience, and then each project in each area becomes a lower level strategic section, and you're going to provide 3 tips per project. So I'm going to show you sort of what that looks like. But what you've done is you've given them multiple tips, things they could do right away, quick wins. And then once you've done a couple of versions and you're comfortable with it, go from this boring bullet point version to adding a lot of visuals. Again, this is meant to be quick. So literally, I created the slide deck I'm about to show you in about 10 minutes. It took me an hour to create the diagnostic. It took me 10 minutes to create the slides around the diagnostic. And once you get more comfortable, make it pretty. So I said have an how-to. So as an example, I really have spelling issues today. How accountants in Atlanta can attract a steady stream of dream clients without getting any better at marketing or sales. So again, how your target market, your dream clients, where they're located, and what they can do. So what is your promise? So my stated promise, going back here, is a steady stream of dream clients. And then the subtitle is just to add a little bit of flair. It's usually without doing something. So how can you make their lives better? And this is the beautiful thing. You can fix it. There we go. And the goal is, like I said, I did this in 10 minutes. You want to get done quickly. Then you want to start practicing it, rehearsing it. So the about me slide, I always tell people I'm a recovering accountant. They laugh at me. This is a good way for us to share. What I do, my clients get clients. I'm a ghostwriter and a publisher. And my big accomplishment, I've published over 30 books this year, either in my name or on behalf of my clients. So you want to share your credibility, why they should listen, as an advantage. I didn't do it today because my video's here. It helps to put a picture and your contact details. So a picture of you, how they can reach you. For me, I usually have people connect with me on LinkedIn. And if I'm really nice, I'll put a QR code with the LinkedIn link there. So that's the easy part. And by the way, get the first version done, practice it, rehearse it, do it in front of people, reach out to people, record it, put it on YouTube, share it on your social. Once you're really comfortable, my advice is hire somebody, a graphic designer or somebody on Fiverr, to actually do a pretty presentation for you. Your skills are better used elsewhere rather than learning how to create slide decks. Now, I share my intention. I literally do it this way. I'll say, today my goal is to share some strategies, some tactics. I'm going to give you a little bit of insight into how, again, tie it back to your title slide. I'm going to share some insight into how accountants in Atlanta can attract a steady stream of dream clients. And at the end, if you'd like, I'm going to share how you and I might be able to work together. So it's not a tough sell. You're just going to say, here's what your next steps are. And I always ask the audience, especially if it's a live one, if it's on Zoom, I'm a little less likely to, because obviously they showed up for a reason. Instead of my intention, you could put learning objectives, but I'd like the word intention. So yeah, you can help them, but I always ask their permission. I say, does this sound like a good use of our time together? And I also say, if you have any questions, you give them the option of either interrupt me with the questions as you go, or I'm going to leave time till the end for questions. Personally, I like the questions as we go. It does challenge me a little. I have to be really on top of my time, but it also means that, somebody's going to ask the question when they're thinking of it. If I wait till the end, they're not going to necessarily have that. And then I always share today's agenda. So in this context, the Clientology methodology is our Clientology growth system, where we follow the ready, aim, fire method. Now, I'm not going to do the actual presentation. I'm just showing you how those one, two, three became the overview for today. So these are the agenda. And basically the way I do it is I spend about 5 minutes on the introduction, 10 minutes on each of these, and then I leave 15 to 20 minutes for questions. And obviously you can adjust that. So if people are asking questions as you go, I would leave 5 minutes for the introduction, 15 minutes for each of this, 5 minutes for wrap up. And that's it. So then what I've done is I take the ready and I share the 3 projects within ready. And then what I do is I take sorry, I missed a slide. That's the downside. I take each of these and I share the 3 biggest tips within each of those. So that's how I do it. I will actually record this presentation with all the slides intact. I'll spend some time editing and fixing. But this is all we do. So then we take ready, aim, and again, AIM is authority books, influential interviews, meaningful masterminds. And then that's the project. These are the top 3 things within that project. Top 3 things. So I'd give some insights, hey, if you're inviting people, here's what you should do. When you're interviewing, watch out for this. When you produce your content, here's what to expect. So you're basically sharing 3 ideas per project. And what that does is, if you have 3 core areas with 3 projects each, that gives you 9 projects, and you're going to share 3 tips per project. So you're actually in a short presentation giving them 27 actionable tips. And that's the key. You want to find the actionable. And then the last core area is fire. And in that, we have the projects of scale, technology, team. So those become slide, scale, technology, team. And that's all of the diagnostic turned into a slide deck. We always do a wrap up, and we say, today we've talked about 3 high-level strategic ideas. You might want to list them out. We've talked about 9 lower-level strategic ideas. List them out. I wouldn't list the 27 practical ideas. Then you'd usually have a question slide, and then I go straight into next steps. And so I'd like to let people know how they can work with me. In this case, I just put together my very low-level basic call to action, which is, if you want to learn more about us, get to know us. And this is a congruity thing for me. I don't want to push anyone. I don't want to sell to anyone. If somebody wants to work with me, they will seek me out. If they don't want to work with me, I don't want to convince them to. So my little call to action is, join our free LinkedIn community. Here's what we do. Here's who's in the group. So it's really, really simple. And then I make it easy for them. I'll put the link up on the screen, and I'll give them a QR code where if they scan that, they can go to it. And I tell them what the investment is. If there's a more complicated investment, you'd want to take a minute to talk about it. And again, it's not a buy my stuff pitch. It's, hey, I'd like to work with you. And by the way, this might be a good place to, share hey, if you'd like a copy of my book, let's chat. And then that's it. Now, one thing I didn't mention on the About Me slide, if you have an authority book, you would put published blah, 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 or author of blah, blah, blah. You want to put that on the About Me slide. So what we would encourage you to do is, first of all, do that diagnostic that we've talked about. But second of all, turn that diagnostic into a presentation. And just for fun, once you've got the presentation and you've kind of created the high level talking points, just sit down at your computer like I'm doing right now, and record yourself doing the presentation. Practice the timing, practice the cadence. The biggest thing is practice saying all of the words. I have a certain neurological condition where I struggle to say certain types of syllables following and before and after each other. I make sure I can actually say the things I've written. So you want to make sure that your brain and your tongue are in congruence and can say the things that you're thinking. And most importantly, show up with the intention of how can I serve? Now, if you're watching this, you're probably thinking, well, I didn't give them anything of value. I just showed them how they could work with me. I beg to differ completely, because the reason somebody would watch this, whether it's in person or online, is they want to know, do I need this person's help? Yes or no. If they've come to you, let's say they are an accountant who is looking to find clients in Atlanta, I'm giving them the clarity of, am I the person they need to help them or not? So I thank you for your time. And I know it was a little bit, well, it was definitely longer than I wanted to, but I want you to practice this. So here's my homework. Create that diagnostic. Whether you do anything with us or not, that diagnostic will serve you going forward. It'll give you that clarity of who you serve, how you serve them. And then create and draft your presentation. Even if you don't do it on PowerPoint, just do it on a blank piece of paper, draw it out, flip the page. That's how I used to design PowerPoints, was just handwritten. And take that diagnostic and turn it into a presentation, helping somebody understand, do they need what you offer? So thank you for your time, and I look forward to your feedback. So once you've recorded this, share it in the group, and the group will give you feedback. Is it clear? Does it make sense? Does it add value? Again, your target length for this should be no more than 60 minutes. If you can get it to 30 minutes or less, you are a rock star. But try to keep it in the 30 minute or less range if you can. 60 minutes absolute maximum. If you're going to be longer, if you're just doing the diagnostic, it should take you about 30 minutes. If you're teaching a little, it might take you the hour. So share it with the group, and thank you for your time.